How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another episode of Previously in DBS. Apologies for the delay in this one. No reason really. It's been quite hot, so that's kind of made me not want to do anything. I'm quite lazy because heat hasn't been great. It's been very hot for us here in the UK, and also Pokemon Unite came out as well on the 21st. So I've been quite addicted to that, playing that quite a bit, and really into that. And with DBS at the moment, I've been a bit without locals and stuff for no big events, kind of drifting away and waiting for the new set to come in because I'm not really enjoying the current format. And since we're getting the ban list is in effect next Friday, I'm waiting until that's in effect before actually looking into trying out new decks and doing more content again. So, but the next video after this will be a cube update, since now we've got all the cards revealed from set 14 with the stuff we're going to go through today, and I can go over a cube update for set 14 now, which will come up later on in the week. But yeah, for this week we got the red reveals, and it's quite good. They normally save the best for last in most of the sets, and red is quite powerful for the set. So as you know, when it was revealed when they did the trailer and also did the designer notes, they mentioned that red is going to be for the Tournament of Power arc. So we've got on one side we've got Jiren and the U11 characters, and the other side we got Gohan with the U7 stuff. So starting off with first before we got that, before we started seeing the leaders and anything, we got revealed the TPs, the red TPs. So we got 4 TPs for red. First 2 we got shown were the ones that support UNISON 7 and are more helpful for the structured deck, and the UNISON 7 new stuff. So the first one we got is SSB Vegeta Spirit Mentor, which is a free cost 19k with deflecting barrier. So it's going to be difficult to stop it from coming. Well, it's coming in safely, and it has 2 alters. It's got first one is when this card is played from your hand, you can play up to 1 SS Kaba Spirit Renaissance from your deck with 3 markers on it, then shuffle your deck. If you didn't play a card, you use up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in your barrier, and it gets minus 30,000 power for the turn. So the Kaba is mentioned in there is the one from the starter deck, the one that the one you get in the starter deck. So literally, with that lead as well, with the Vegeta lead from that, you want to turn 2. Well, you can turn 2, play the Unison, and then awaken straight away. So awaken turn 2 using the Unison, and it's got some interaction with that Unison. And this is a way for you to be able to play Unison straight from the deck for free energy and have a 19k attacker as well, which is pretty cool. Especially if you've used your Unison up already, you can then play free. One interesting thing with this is it's a target for the Piccolo Unison from Draft Box 6. So if you have that with 6 markers, you can use that, the -6 killing itself, bring out this and something else like Pan, and then you get Pan's effect, then you get this effect to give yourself another Unison back as well, which is pretty cool. It's not great for the deck, but it's just nice that you have that. That's like a cool option. And then the other alter we have is once per turn, Spirit Boost 1, where if your leader card is a mono red Saiyan card, and this card is in rest mode, when your opponent attacks your leader, you may give it 5,000 power for the battle. So it's quite nice, and just knocking a mark off Unison gives your leader a 5k boost for that battle. If this card is in rest mode and you have a mono red Saiyan, it's not too bad a card. It's nice to see that these TPs aren't busted like insanely good cards, and cards needed for the archetypes in the set, like the last set was, where you had the Bojack, and you kind of need for Bojack to make it quite decent. And after that as well, the switching gears and things like that, there's no TPs in here that are mandatory to make the decks functional competitively in this TP, which is pretty cool. And the other one we got is a Tien Shin Han Desperate Multiform, which is a 1-drop cantrips, because why is it cantrip is it's got the auto when this card is played draw 1, but it's also got another effect, which is a also for 2 energy. It was your opponent's turn, When this card is used in the combo from your battle area, play 4 multiform tokens. Yeah, just play 4 multiform tokens, and as you know, multiform tokens are 10,000 power, 0 combo power, and 5k combo power. So that's pretty cool. Like, I don't know if you could potentially with this make a red-green Tien Shinhan list, because you've got the green Tien Shinhan leader. Because we finally got a green team. We finally got our Tien leader, and it came in the evolution booster. But the only thing with that, I think, with that lead as well, you need exactly 3 token slash TM battle cards for its leader's effect. If you have more or less, it doesn't work. It has to be exactly 3. But this is pretty interesting. It's a cantrip, and then but just 2 energy after comboing it from your battle area on your opponent's turn, you can get 4 comboable tokens. That's for 2 energy, 2k worth of combo power, which is pretty interesting. It's not too bad, but not amazing, but it's quite decent. Like, it might go on the cube, considering because it's got quite a decent effect to get quite a lot of combo power, and its defensive is not offensive; it's got to be defensive as well, which is pretty cool, which makes it a bit more balanced. And then we got the other 2 of the red TPs being U11 support. Now I'm liking this that we got some red U11, because if you've seen one of my deck profiles, I like the yellow Jiren leader, and I like it. I also like the fact you can play it in any color combination. You can play it mono yellow, blue yellow, green yellow, red yellow, and red yellow was the not as powerful version. It has some strong cards, like it gives you Topo, which can negate the attack, which is pretty cool because it can negate the attack, play itself to put an end to that attack. If you continue, it's also a U11 for your leader's effect. And there's also, it gives you like 4 versions of Casserole as well, because there's the Coquette, which is also same kind of effect as Casserole, playing one from the deck, negated, but it's being a red 2 cost 15k. And having more red use 11 cards is going to be handy to play out the deck again with red yellow, which is going to be cool. But with the U11 stuff, we got a Jiren Unseen Potential 5 cost 15k EX Evolve, with where if your leader card is a red Universe 11 card, red Jiren card with energy cost of 1. So this is cool. You can for free evolve on top of a 1-drop red Jiren. And as we saw from the designer's notes about the set, we know that there's at least one 1-drop Jiren card that can evolve onto, which can search the top 7 card for a Jiren or a Unison of a specified cost of 1. And its other effect, which is as limit 1, which means you can only activate that skill across all copies of the card that turn, so you can only use it once. Which is when this card is played, look up to 7 cards on top of your deck, add up to 1 red Universe 11 card among them to your hand, and shuffle your deck. If you added a card to your hand, choose 1 card in your hand and place it at the bottom of your deck. Now that's pretty cool because you can search for any red U11, which is like you can get Topo from old sets and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And it gets a bit of consistency. You bottom deck stuffing, which isn't great. You're not plussing, you're just replacing, but still being able to add that consistency is pretty cool. Then the other card we got is a Zorre Topsy Turvy, which is a 1 cost 4k blocker and a permanent bond 2 Universe 11 card, but of 2 Universe 11 cards you need, including itself. This card can't be killed once per turn. And this is pretty cool because you can get it off of Casserole and Coquette, which helps. This is what I like about it, that you can use it in the red-yellow Jiren, like yellow Jiren leader deck, which is pretty cool. That's going to be quite interesting. Not an amazing TP, but once again, as I said, it's better to have TPs that are decent but not busted, rather than ones that are busted and required to make a deck function. So that's it for the red TPs that we got revealed today, and then we got shown the leader. So the first red leader is Jiren. So we got another Jiren leader. I was hoping it would be maybe a Jiren, Topo, and Dispo leader altogether, but no, we got another Jiren leader, and this time in red, where the rest have all been in yellow, which is pretty interesting. So the front side, it's got 3 skills, one being the Awaken with an auto and activate main. The auto is Spirit Boost 1, meaning you need to sacrifice a marker from UNISON to trigger it. When your opponent attacks, choose up to 1 red Jiren card in your hand with an evolve skill, pay the cost of the skill, of the chosen card's evolve skill, and then evolve it on top of a battle card that meets the evolve requirements. So like we saw with the Jiren previously from the TP, all you need to have is no energy cost, just evolve on top of a 1 cost red Jiren. So if you've got 1 cost red Jiren on the board and you trigger the auto when your opponent attacks, you just knock a marker off your Unison for the cost, and then evolve on top that 1 drop, that 5 drop from your hand. So it's cool that you can evolve in your opponent's turn. And then we also have activate main once per turn, where you add 1 card from your life to your hand as the cost. Then you look at the top 7 cards in your deck, play up to 1 red Universe 11 card with entry cost of 1 among them in rest mode, and shuffle your deck. Now this is pretty cool. There's loads of targets for this, given the how many we got in the draft box. 5, I think. Right, one of the draft boxes, I can't remember if it was 4 or 5. We got the red Universe 11 stuff, and we got quite a few 1 drops. Because note here, it just says 1 red Universe 11 card with entry cost of 1, not 1 red Jiren with entry cost of 1. So if you don't hit a Jiren, you still have 1 drops in there. Like I know there's a Kunchi that draws you a card and then minuses one of your opponent's battle cards by 4,000, and you've got quite a few everyone's that draw as well. The only issue with that is it comes out in rest mode, but still, just taking a life to then play a Sync 1 drop on the board that can net you a card is not too bad. Like ideally you want it to be a Jiren, 1 drops you can evolve, but still, it means he's got built-in self-awakening. And when it does awaken, which is at 4 life or less, you draw 1 and tap 1, which is at the mid-range one. And then on the back side, on the awaken side, it's got 3 autos. So the first one is a standard of when it attacks, you draw 1 card. And it's got auto with limit 2, meaning you can only activate this skill twice per turn. It's funny that it says cross all copies of the card, but it's a leader, so you only have 1 copy in your deck because it's the leader. So this auto you can activate 2 times a turn. If it's your turn, when one of your red when one of your red Universe 11 cards evolves, this card gains 5,000 power for the turn. Which means if you evolve twice in a turn, your leader becomes 25k base, which is pretty cool. That's the sweet spot because, as I say, it's a really good spot because if your opponent's out comboing 25 to 15, they got to use a super combo and another card, so not just using a super combo to out combo and not lose anything. They're still losing 1 card by having the card extra, either over comboing by 2 super combos, or they're comboing a super combo and another card, meaning you just forced out one of their unit super combos, and also made them lose a card to out combo it. And then the last skill is the exact same as the front and sides auto. Yeah, you can just, by taking a marker, you can evolve in your opponent's turn. And fortunately, it won't trigger the second auto because that only triggers when it's your turn. And then we have the Unison for the theme. And this is Topo Force of Obliteration, being a 5k 1 specified cost red Unison with an auto, which is interestingly, it's the only that I can remember that I can think it back. I think it's the only Unison in this set that doesn't have a skill that triggers when it has a marker removed by a Spirit Boost skill. You just got an auto once per turn. When one of your red battle cards evolve, this card gets 5,000 power for the turn and add a marker to it. So it gets an extra marker whenever you evolve into one of your Jirens once per turn and becomes a 10k. And then we have its marker skills. First one being a +1, which is activate mana at the end of the turn, choose up to 1 red battle card with energy cost of 1 in your hand and play it in rest mode. It's not too bad. And then -7, activate main if your opponent has 3 or more life, deal 1 damage to your opponent. And that's not a great, like you're minusing 7, but they got a bit of 3 life to damage. So if you quicken down to 2, so you can double strike big tall swing into them, then it's useless. And minusing 7. Well, I suppose it has to have a limit because there are decks like in Red Broly which can easily put a load of markers on it, and having that easy way to just burn less damage would be a bit unfair. That's it for the Jiren lead and its Unison. Now with the rest of the archetype, we got some 1-drops in the set. First, so we got 2 Jiren targets for the evolve. We got the first one, Jiren, first with power, uncommon, with a permanent, where if your leader card is a UN11 card. Mono red Jiren cards with the original energy cost of 4 in your hand gain the following effect. They gain EX evolve for 1 red and 2 of any other colour. Red Jiren with energy cost of 1. Now that actually kind of does suck, because who's paying free energy to evolve from a 4-drop or red Jiren? Because there's 2 ones that this you can use for this. There's the one from set 2, which was really good at this time, and which was when it can attack battle cards in active mode, was a 4k, it was a 4-cost 20k double striker. When it attacks a battle card, it gains 10k for that battle and then restands. And there's the other one from the draft box, I think it's draft box 6 if I remember correctly, where it's got I think 2 autos, where when your opponent plays a battle card, you can minus it by 10k, and when your opponent attacks, when your opponent attacks, they minus it. You can minus it by 10k as well, a battle card by 10k, and that's a 4-cost. I can't remember if it has double strike or not. I don't think it does, but those targets aren't worth paying free energy to evolve on top of 1-drop for, because neither of them have deflect to prevent it from easily just dying or just being counterplayed, and they're not strong in this meta. So that permanent skill is not really worth it unless we get some new Jiren 4-cost red battle cards. But the best thing about it is also, which is when this card is played, look at the top 5 cards. When this card is played, you look up to 5 cards from the top of your deck. You add it to 1 red Jiren card or 1 red Unison card with a specified cost of 1 among them to your hand and shuffle your deck. So that's good as a top 5 searcher to get your Jiren evolved targets. It was pretty good. And yeah, one target for your leaders on its unawakened side to play. And then the other one is Jiren the Avenger, which has an auto when this card is played, draw 1 card. So there's 3 Jiren targets, and there's these 2. These 2 both net you something. The Jiren first with power can net you a Jiren card, and the Jiren the Avenger just draws you a card. And the other target we have is the draft box, I think it's draft box 5, 1-drop Jiren, which has barrier, so it's got some protection if you ever need protection for it, to make sure the chain can go off. But it doesn't net you any cards, but it does have that anti-mill effect, where if you have 10 or more, if you have 10 battle cards with 10k power in your drop, and this card at the start of your main phase, it gains 25k double strike, dual attack, and your opponent has to discard 2 cards if they want to use a counter of cost 2 or more. So that's alright, but then it doesn't net you anything. You don't really need barrier, I don't feel, in the deck for these. And then we also got the activate main on it, which is a limit 1, and you only can activate this skill once per turn across all copies of the card. If your leader card is a red Universe 11 card, you choose 1 card in your hand and discard it, and you place this card from the bottom of your deck from your drop area. You add up to 1 red Jiren card with energy cost of 5 or less, and an evolve skill from your deck to your hand and shuffle your deck. So that's pretty cool. You can recycle it to make sure that you've always got 1-drops to evolve on, and you search from your deck one of the evolve type cards that can evolve on top of it, which is pretty cool. And the other 1-drop in the set that's pretty decent playing off this is Kunchi War Universe 11, which has a permanent of if all your red non-Kunchi Universe 11 cards with energy cost of 1 in your battle area gain barrier. So it gives everything else. It gives all your red 1-drop U11 cards red Universe 11 battle card 1-drops barrier, but not itself or other copies of itself on the board. But it does is a counter for when it's played, you draw a card, so it's not too bad for a drop. Yeah, not protecting itself kind of sucks. Then you have the targets you can evolve onto, the other ones that come in the set. So you have Jiren Devastating Might, which is a 4-cost 15k. EX evolve if your leader card is red Jiren, your red Universe 11 card, red Jiren card with energy cost of 1, it evolves on top. And it also has an auto limit 1. When this card is played, draw 1 card, then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it gains minus 10k power for the turn. So that's pretty good. Unlike the TP, it does replace itself, and then minuses 10k power for the turn on something, which is nice for in your turn getting rid of their little weenies that they left on board, or make it easier to run over something. And if you use your leader's effect to evolve it in your opponent's turn, you get that draw minus 10k power in your opponent's turn, which is pretty cool. And then we've got the Jiren Search of Strength, which is a 5 cost, 19k dual attack, EX evolve, limit 1 with 1 red energy cost. If your leader card is a red Universe 11 card, on the top of a red Jiren card with energy cost of 1 or 4, which is pretty interesting. So you can go on a 1 drop or a 4 drop. Also a permanent where if this card would be removed from your battle area by opponent's skill, you may place 2 cards from this card in its owner's drop area, or add 1 card from your life to your hand. So it's got self-weight built-in to protect yourself, or you can ditch 2 cards from underneath it, which is pretty cool. It's nice protection, especially for a dual attacker as well. And it's got an auto when this card is played, draw 1 card, so replacing itself like the other one. Then you choose one of your Universe 11 your leader cards or battle cards other than this card, and it gets plus 1,000 power for the turn. Now that 1,000 might seem like nothing, but putting it on your leader in your opponent's turn to make your leader 16k means your opponent can't just swing with 15ks at it to pressure you, because you easily out combo it, and now they've got a combo up, which then you can combo up. You can then combo the combo out of, which is good. Like it's as good as it's been essentially for this. Then for every Universe 11 sport, we got a Tupper, War of Universe 11. This is a 3 cost 20k with barrier and dual attack. And also when this card is played, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and they get minus 15k power for the turn. Now that's pretty good, that's not too bad cost to power ratio. It hasn't got deflect, I mean it can be counterplayed, but it does have power, it means it's hard to interact with when it's on board. And when it comes down, it's swinging for 2 20k swings, and then minusing 2 of your opponent's battle cards by 15k power. That's not too bad, like that's a really good cube card. Like it's 100% going in the cube. But I'm not sure how it'll function in U11. I haven't tested this yet. I was waiting until everything was brought out and we get the ban list before, and we'll get the cards ready because I prefer to test in person now. To try it out. But it seems like a pretty good card. Then we have Vaughn, Warrior of Universe 11. It's a 4 cost 20k with double strike and barrier. And also when this card is played, you draw 1 card to replace itself. Then choose all of your Universe 11 cards and they get plus 5,000 power for the turn. Now this doesn't specify colour for Universe 11, so it can be any colour. So it could be yellow ones, the green ones, the red ones. So and it's only one specified red. So this might be a cool card in with as a finish, like a kind of not like a watered down version of Fearless Pan for Jiren. If you play it in the yellow Jiren lead, spam the board with cards and then give them more 5k boost after playing this, and have this as a 20k double striker. And then the good thing about that is then you have at least this with barrier and all your board, and with the Jiren's effect, making it so you don't take damage by taking a life for the next turn. Can make it quite good to pressure and then have that quite strong defense. Then the last one we got here is Kettle, Warrior of Universe 11. This is a 3 cost 15k blocker, and there's a counterplay as well, where if the battle card being played has 20k power or less, place it in his own drop area instead, then play this card. So it's like Denial of Hope with a body. So you've done off hope your opponent, and then get a 15k attacker on board that can block. And it's not going to be paid for free because of its permanent bond free, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. But the thing with this, you actually need, unlike with most bond effects, you normally count itself because you have it on the board to trigger the bond effect. But with this, you need to have 3 other battle cards on board to trigger it, which is not too bad it's not too difficult for Jiren decks. And for most red decks actually, anything about having this backed up with King Vegeta after they spam their board of 3 battle cards is pretty cool. And then when this card is played for its auto, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. So you can stop something from coming in, give yourself a 15k blocker and also minus 10k power, something your opponent's board. And that's pretty good. That's a pretty decent rare, I feel, and might be a good one for the cube as well. And also for the rest of the U11 support. So we've got a Casserole, War of Universe 11. So this one is a 2-cost deflect blocker with 5k power, and it has a permanent where if this card would be removed from your battler by opponent's skill, you may add one card from your life to your hand instead. So it's got some protection where if your opponent does anything to remove it, you can take a life instead, which is pretty cool. And it also has an activate battle, which is once per turn. If your leader card is a red Universe 11 card, choose up to 2 of your red Universe 11 cards with energy cost of 1 and 10k power or less in your battler and switch them to active mode. So that means that's a good way to. That's a really good combination with the TP Zore to let him block, and then on the, like, so you block with one. If you have 2 of those Zores on board, yeah, you block with one. And then when you block on the second one, you trigger this, or no, you block with one, block with another, then block with this, and on this block, activate that to restand the other 2 Zores, so you can block 5 attacks. That's pretty strong, and it's hard to remove this as well. And if you have one of the countries on board, you can give barrier to the other 1 drops, which is pretty nice. That's pretty cool. Quite defensive for that. Not sure how useful it's going to be, but it could be interesting. And it's annoying that it does say leader card is a red Universe 11 card, because imagine that with the yellow Universe leader and having Kunchi protect this with barrier as well would be pretty good and pretty interesting. But at least it has the protection skill when it's permanent. Doesn't matter what leader you got, so that's pretty good. And then the other 2 we got here, Zora and Dispo, are the red versions of the things of the cards that all the Evercolors got. So Zora being the anti-burn card, the 1-use anti-burn card for red, where if your leader's red and you take damage from a non-keyword skill, you can play it from your hand, and if you do, replace the top card of your deck in your life to cover the damage you just took from that effect. And Dispo being the card that is the silver bullet to Reboot Gohan, even though Reboot Gohan got banned. So they decided to print these cards for Reboot Gohan, then decided to ban Reboot Gohan. So now there's cards that punish leaders that have dual attack or attack multiple times because Reboot Gohan existed. But also it's nice just to have a counter attack Dispo for. Oh, that doesn't even work with the old Jiren, which is annoying because it says it needs your leader to be red for its counter attack. Otherwise, that would be pretty good for the yellow Jiren leader, just to have a U11 negate to then be live for its effect. And then we got the super combo. From what I could find, we only got 1 super combo for red in this set, being the Coquette, War of Universe 11, being the super combo every single colour got, which either be used as super combo as usual, or could be used to mitigate Spirit Boost skill by putting if you use a Spirit Boost skill on a Unison, and your Unison's the same colour as it, you can put it under the Unison to get a marker back and draw a card. So nothing more to say. This has already been covered in the other videos. And then we got the Jiren boss card, which is the Jiren Zenith of Power. Now this is an 8-drop 35k with double strike and EX evolve, limit 2 for 2 red. Limit 1 for 2 red. If you have 3 or more energy, you can evolve on top of a red Jiren card with energy cost of 4 or 5, which is easy enough to do. You can evolve this in 1 turn, which is pretty cool. Then it has an auto and activate main. The auto being when this card is played, use up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and it gets minus 35k power for the turn, and you can't play non-Universe 11 battle cards for the turn. And that is very strong. That much power reduction through barrier is very, very good, and it's nice to get that the deck gets some barrier removal. And it also has the activate main once per turn, where you place 1 card under this card, which you can have at least 1 by evolving onto something. Or place it in the drop area from under this card. You switch this card to active mode, and you can have your red leader gain 5k power for that turn. So you can make your leader 30k power and get 2 double strength swings out of this. That's very, very strong. And it comes down as early as turn 3, because you just have to have 3 or more energy, which is very good. You can only play once per turn, but the good thing is, the only problem with this card is where it doesn't have deflect. If you go to use the Evolve skill, pays 2 red evolve, and your opponent stops it from coming into play, you can't play in everyone because they'll limit 1. That's a very strong card. I'm looking forward to testing out this deck. And what I might be doing with some local friends is doing a gauntlet series where we'll grab a deck, of pick a color from the set, and play one of the decks from the set, and battle out this in like a round robin style. I'm gonna see if I can get that done regularly and get that done in person when the set releases, because untapped games are not fun to watch and in-person games are a lot more interesting. And that is all for the Universe 11 side. So on with the Universe 7 side of it. We got Son Gohan, so we finally get a new Son Gohan leader. And this one brings back the War of Universe 7. If you can't remember what War of Universe 7 does, it basically makes all your Universe 7 battle cards have no specified cost, which is pretty cool. So on the front side, it's just got the auto once per turn when you use a Universe 7 card in a combo, you draw a card. So no inherent draw from attacking like most leaders have. It's when you combo with a Universe 7 card, you draw one card, and it's not locked to a turn. It's in your opponent or your turn, which is good. That's nice that you can out combo things, and then replace the card in your hand as long as it's Universe 7 with a card. Then it has its Awaken. When your life is at 4 or less, or you have a red Unison card with a specified cost of 2 in play, you may draw 1 card, switch it to one of your energy to active mode, and add cards from your life to your hand so you have 5 left, then flip this card over. So that's pretty good. And with the Awaken side, we have, once again, War of Universe 7. It's got 3 autos as well, so auto once per turn, same as the front side. When you use a Universe 7 card in the combo, you draw 1 card, and then auto once per turn, Spirit Boost 1. When you use a red skillless battle card with entry cost of 2 in a combo, you get 6,000 combo power for the battle, making a skillless card 11k combo power. So it's got a lot of aggressive combo power and defensive combo power, which is pretty cool. And its last auto of once per turn, one with your red Unison cards with a specified cost of 2 in your Unison areas placed in your drop area. Choose it to one of your red skillless battle cards with an entry cost of 2 in your drop area and play it. So it allows you to play out a free 10k. And it's just when one is placed in your so it's just when one of your red Unison cards is with a specified cost of 2 in your Unison area is just placed in your drop area. So it doesn't matter if your opponent sends it by an effect, if it's gone by battle, if it's just replaced, you can get that skill, which is pretty cool. And then the one in the set for this archetype is Frieza, Unlikely Savior, a 2 specified cost red Unison with 15k power. It's got his auto skill, which is the one that gets one Spirit Boost, which once per turn, if it's your turn, when you remove a marker from this card using Spirit Boost skill, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards or Unison cards, and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. Now choosing Unison cards is really cool, because it allows, if you got a Unison that is 10k power or less, instantly remove a marker from it, and can make the 20k ones easier to run over for one swing, which is pretty cool. And then it's also got a +1 and a ±0. +1 is activate main of place up to 1 red skillless card from your drop area to the bottom of your deck. So that allows you to recycle your skillless battle cards, because it's easy ways to search them or get them from your deck, as we'll see soon. And it's ±0 is an auto of when your opponent attacks, use it to one of your skillless Universe 7 cards in your hand or drop area and combo with it. So you only need to keep one in your drop, so you can combo from your drop on one of your opponent's attacks, which means if they attack into this, you can make it as same as the Valos one in the Whis deck, where you can combo a skillless card for free from your drop, and that's pretty cool. And then that will trigger the leader to draw a card, so you can net advantage that way, which is pretty interesting. And then for the archetype, we have some skillless support. So we've got these 1-drops, which all have something to do with skillless. So we've got the Gohan Ultimate Essence, which is when this card is played, look up to 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 red Universe 7 card with energy cost of 4 or less, or 1 red Unison card with special cost of 2 among them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Now, this is pretty good. It's a little 1-drop searcher and an SR for the set as well. And then it has the skill, which is similar to the 1-drop Whis in the 1-drop Whis in the yellow Whis deck, but this one has limit 1, where if your leader card is red, when you use a mono red skillless battle card in a combo, you draw 1 card. So that's your little skillless combo power. So it's a nice top deck searcher for on turn 1 for Unison, play Unison turn 2, and then using Unison when they attack, you combo skills from your battle area to get a 5k combo, and then you get a draw from this and a draw from your lead, which is pretty strong. So from comboing nothing from your hand, you get 2 cards, which is really strong. Then we have Krillin, Universe 7 Challenger, and Master Roshi, Universe 7 Challenger. They're both quite similar. So Krillin has the effect of, they're both one cost 5Ks. And Krillin has the effect of when this card is played, add up to 1 red skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 from your deck to your hand and shuffle it. And Roshi does the same thing, apart from setting your deck, it takes it from your drop area to your hand. So Krillin's a deck, and Roshi has back from drop to hand. So pretty good. Roshi's probably used more than Krillin, because you've got easy ways to grab your skillless from your deck as well. And the other support we've got is the other SR for the set for this archetype is Son Goku Divine Presence. So it's a 4-cost 20k with deflect and dual attack. You're not going to play it before anyway. You can be playing off his activate battle, which will go for an attack. So a permanent of when this card can't be removed from your battle area by skills during your turn. So it means when it's your turn, there's no getting rid of this card from your battle area unless you get rid of it. No, even you can't get rid of it by skills, but you can get rid of costs and stuff. And it's got an auto once per turn when this card attacks. Add up to 1 red skills battle card from your deck to your hand and shuffle your deck. This card gets 5,000 power for the turn. So that's pretty strong. How you can it becomes a 25k dual attacker that also gets you searches your deck to grab a red skillless card. And the way to play it out cheaper than 4 energy is activate battle for 2 red. If you have 3 or more energy and you have 2 or more red battle cards in your combo area, play this card from your hand, then choose up to one of your mono red cards, and this card gets 5,000 power for the turn. So that's pretty strong. And it's easy to get 2 cards in your combo area with Android 18 and Android 17's effects. But this is also a very strong card as well. Because you turn free for 2 energy, you play it down on your turn. So it says just choose up to one of your mono red cards. You can choose it yourself and give it 5k, so you can make it a 30k dual attacker the turn you drop it. And then as long as it survives, every turn after that, it's swinging as a 25k dual attacker every turn. And also you can get, if you play it on your opponent's turn, you can give your leader that 5k boost for the turn, which is, as long as it's mono red, which is pretty strong as well. Like in all, this is a very strong card, especially for any mono red deck. Then we have Android 18 and Android 17. Now these both allow you to fulfill the conditions for this, and also the Gohan from the starter deck, which has the same activate battle kind of thing, but for 1 red instead of 2. With it, they're auto, so they both have barrier. And 18 is a 2-cost 10k, 17 is a 3-cost 19k. They both have barrier, but 17 also has blocker. They both have the same auto of if your leader card is a mono red Universe 7 card and you only have this card and 1 red skillless card in your combo area. When this card is using the combo, draw 1 card. So it means if you combo for free with a skillless battle card from your drop during your opponent's turn from your Unison, you get the draw from the Gohan if you have it on board and your leader. Then you combo with one of these, which then, because it's only got itself and a skillless in your battle area, you replace yourself by drawing another card, and then you can activate battle in this Goku or the Gohan from the starter deck set, which is pretty strong. And you're losing no cards, you basically just gained 2 cards. Yeah, you just plus 2 cards, and you've just popped this Goku on board for virtually nothing. But The only what 18 has separate from 17 is her activate battle, or once per turn. Choose it to 1 red or Universe 7 battle card in your combo area. It gets plus 5,000 combo power for the battle. That's pretty cool. And we have the Android 17, which has the once per turn. When you activate this card's blocker skill, choose it to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 15k power for the turn. Now both of these are very strong. Considering it added to the cube, the 17 is definitely going to be added for the cube. Because like the red is on par with almost the blue Great Saiyan Man from set, I think it's from set 12. That requires 3 blue. And 18 is pretty decent for his activate battle, but I'm not sure yet if I'm going to be adding that one. All pretty decent cards. Then we have the SKILL-IESS support. We've got a Super Saiyan Son Goku and a Piccolo. And this Piccolo is better than the other two Piccolo one, because not only has it Namekian and God, and being a red Piccolo, it's also a normal Piccolo, not Piccolo BR, and Universe has a Universe 7 tag, so it gives a bit more utility, especially for things like Cube as well. And the Goku is not only just a Saiyan this for his red Super Saiyan Son Goku, it's a Universe 7 as well. Then we have the red extra cards. So the first two for last after like Art of U11. We have Difference in Stats, which is another SR. It's a 0 cost counter attack with Spirit Boot X. X meaning you can pay as you can choose any number of remove any number of markers from your Unison. So you can choose 0 or any number of markers that you can possibly take off your Unison. If your leader card is mono red, you choose it to one of your opponent's cards and it gets minus 5k power for the turn. And if you removed a marker from one of your red Unison cards using this skill, choose up to one of your opponent's cards and it gets minus 5k power for the turn for each marker you remove from this skill. So that is really good. It's a really nice one. Another helpful card for King Vegeta as well, because you want to establish a Unison, and it's just free counter that you can minus 10k power for the turn and triggers your leader as well. And it's also for the turn, so you get anything that can attack multiple times as long as it doesn't have barrier. You can minus 5k it, and and unlike with the green one, you get the more markers you get, the more you reduce something, which is quite cool. I see it's pretty good, really good for Prison Freeze as well, because turn 2 you can play the Frost one, and then have this live as a free counter attack to minus something, because it hits anything, any card. Doesn't matter if it's Unison, leader, or battle card. Just as long as it doesn't have barrier, you can affect it. Then we have Source of Power, which is a counter attack Spirit Boost X. If your leader card is a red Universe 11 card, negate the attack, then add it to 1 Jiren card with an evolved skill and an energy cost of 5 or less from your deck to your hand. It's off your deck. If you remove the marker from one of your red Unison cards using this skill, choose up to 1 red Universe 11 card with energy cost of 1 in your dropper and play it in rest mode with skills negate for the turn. So that's pretty good. That's pretty nice how you can just negate an attack and get and replace itself with this card with an evolved Jiren target from your deck. And if you remove a marker, go for it, because you can still remember, because it's got Spirit Boost X, you can choose 0 markers for Spirit Boost. But if you do remove at least 1 marker, you get to play from your drop area a red 1-drop. That comes in with the skills negated for the turn, but still you can get a Jiren to have them the evolve straight away when they attack. Not too bad. Don't know if it's going to be using Jiren, but it is pretty decent to replace itself with a evolve target for your deck as well. The last 2 extra cards we got is Teamwork with Universe 7, which is the unnegatable attacks every colour got in this set. But this one's doesn't really require it to be tokens like the other one's more involved in tokens, but this one is just negate the attack, then choose any number of your opponent's battle cards with a total energy cost of 1 or less, and choose those cards. They get minus 10k power for the turn. So with this you can choose tokens, because it's up to a cost of 1 or less, and tokens don't have a power energy cost, so you can choose all their tokens and up to an energy cost of 1 of battle cards on the board, and it also has a permanent if it can't be negated. And an exchange of power is basically all the colours apart from blue are getting a copy of Absolute Confidence in some shape or form, where I've removed a marker from UNISON or does something else that revolves a battle card. I think the yellow one, I can't remember what the yellow one did. I think it was remove marker arrest, I think. And then the green one was KO something of free cost or less or remove a marker. But the red one doesn't have the option to remove a marker, it does something worse. So it's either so activate main battle is either choose one of your opponent's battle cards, it gets minus 15k power for the turn, then draw a card. So minus 10k for 2 red energy, then draw 1. Or you choose one of your opponent's UNISON cards and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. So instead of knocking a marker off it, you minus power. So any UNISON that's 15k power or less, it affects. But any UNISON, like you knock a marker off, but any UNISON has more than 20, like there's a 20k, like the 20k ones, or when it boosts itself, it's not going to knock that marker off, which is a bit disappointing. Okay, it would have been nice to just remove a marker like the rest, but yeah, it's made it a bit worse than the other ones. But that's it for all the red set stuff. So we also got the special rares as well for red. So as we saw from the box art, we have the Topo SPR, got the SPR treatment looking fabulous. Like, God Destruction Topo looks really sick. And the every SPR we got, which I was hoping for Jiren to get an SPR, but we got the Gohan got some love with an SPR of the 1-drop, and that looks quite nice. Like, it looks a bit, maybe a bit too much gold, but not as much gold as like we've had with like a Mega Shenron and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of gold, but the SPRs from this set look really, really nice. And this Gohan one does look pretty nice. And also we got revealed the last TPs as well. So we got the remaining team Multicolours. We've already gone over this because I think Bandai did make a mistake when they revealed the other TPs. Like previously, I think last week, they showed off these two in their winner art form with the black TP. And I think they're meant to reveal these ones and have all the winners this week because we've got the last two winners as well. So I think they accidentally released TP instead of TP versions, winner versions instead of these. But here is the art for the non-winner ones. Like the relics look pretty cool. I think it looks pretty like it's pretty nice art. And then we got the Super 17 in its which is decent art. And then we have the other two winners, which is a red and blue one, being the SSB Vegeta Spirit Mentor. So for those Vegeta fans, they can get a winner art. And then the Great Bardock card gets a winner stamp. So it's like Bandai seem to love hating on the Bardock's crew stuff. Like, they print a lot for it, trying to make it better, but they also hate it because they don't print anything decent for it. That they make it a deck that's just always mediocre and not very good. But this is definitely going to keep this hit Great Bardock. It's going to replace the 5-drop from Draft Box. It's a lot better and a lot more synergistic, especially in the cube for the archetype as well of the Bardock's crew stuff, or blue grape stuff. And then with the last card we got is the secret rare, the final secret rare being a one that isn't probably going to be played that much because it's not as great as some of the other red secret rares we've got previously, but will be highly sought after by collectors because of the art and because of the moment it represents in Dragon Ball Super, and that is SS Son Goku and Frieza Miraculous Conclusion. So it's an 8 cost 40k with ultimate, like all secrets have, and dual attack. Then it's got 3 permanents and activate main. So the first permanent is you can't play this card from any area using skills, and if you have 5 or more mono red energy, you reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3. So it is mainly forcing it to be only really be used in a mono red deck because you need mono red energy to produce it, otherwise you're not going to want to pay 8 energy for it. And it can be played from anywhere by skills, which is a good reason why, because there's a there's no like decent way to get it out quite easily, but I know there is the caller from set 2, or I think set 2, that can bring out a Frieza clan by remove from the game the battle card on your board. to bring one from your drop, and this will be a target because it's a freezer clan. And the next permanent is one that should be on all secret rares, to be honest, is this card can't be removed from your battle area by opponent's skill. Well, no, sorry, not this one. Oh, I misread the skill. Never mind. It doesn't have the secret every secret rare which should have, which I feel is the one that says if it would be removed from the battle area, removed from the battle area, it's removed from the game instead. But it's got a permanent of this card can't be removed from your battle area by opponent's skills because you're paying 5 for it. So it doesn't have deflect. So if your opponent stops it from coming in, that's going to suck. But if they don't stop it, they have to swing over it to get rid of it. Then the last permanent is during battles with this card. You can use cards in your hand in combos, and your opponent can activate counter or blocker skills. So you can combo from hand, but you still combo from board or from drop if you've got skills that combo from drop. And yeah, your opponent can't counter attack it or block it. So whatever it's attacking, for its 2 attacks, it's connecting, and they've got to just combo. But you at least have 40k base, and at least as long as you put stuff on board, you can still combo from board, which is pretty interesting. And the last thing it's got is activate main. Is if your leader card is red and you move this card from the game, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So guaranteed burn, which is pretty good. So if you can get your opponent down to 3 and they can't combo the attacks, you can attack twice, but then the 1 and burn them. Or ideally, if you get your opponent down to 2, you can swing with its 2 attacks to try and force the hand down or force through a damage with its 40k base that they can't block or counter, and then finish off if they take one of those damage to burn for game. Yeah, it's not too bad a secret rare, but it's not as great as things like Gohanks. Gohanks, or like the generic ones like the Kai. But it's just nice. Is a good collector's one. It just has nice art. The only thing I'm annoyed with is that since the beginning of the Universe Warrior series, their secret rares have been going like a kind of a pattern. Like from set 10, it was going in they were printing the secret rares in the color order or the reverse of the multicolors. So with the multicolors, we got red, green, blue, yellow, red, yellow, blue, green. Then we got red, blue, and green, yellow. And then for their secret rares from set 10, they were printing them in reverse order. So in set 10, we got a green and a yellow secret rare. Then we got a blue and a red secret rare. Then we got a green and a blue secret, and then a red and a yellow secret. And I would have thought they would have continued it with this set being a blue and a yellow secret and then a red and a green secret afterwards, but now that went all out the window, and they've done with 3 colors. So this is the first set we've had in a while where we had no black secret rare, which is pretty interesting, because that makes it a lot more generic black secret rares, because it can be used in any deck. But it's nice to have more secret rares for each color, so you got different options. Because some colors like blue have one straight up secret rare that's the best to use. Then like 1 or 2 ones that you could use, like blue has blue has Baby Hatch is the best one, and then Pycon being a good choice in some decks. But mainly you're gonna use Baby Hatch for blue. Then you got like yellow has Selzeno, which even though it's getting errated, it's still a very strong card. And green has got quite a few, like it's got the new Boo, and then the Grey Ape as well. And there's another one I can't remember. The Majin Buu one, the Ever Majin Buu. They've got 2 Buu ones. But that is it. And that is all for this week's rares. This week's reveals of the red stuff. So that's everything with that. I think we're now going to be slowly getting the anniversary box stuff, which will be covered in the next lot of videos. Because as I said, this series is to cover all the week's news in one bite-sized video at the end of the week. So if you get see all the bits and you want to try and put them together, I put them together so you don't have to and see all the news from the week in one go. But thank you for watching. Sorry about this delayed. I'm gonna try and get the cube video for an update this week. So if you are interested in Cube and following my channel and subscribing for Cube stuff, or just interested in the format itself, I will provide an update with the fully updated list for Cube if you want to try it out some point this week, probably Friday. But once again, thank you for watching this extremely long video, which is normally like this when we get a whole colour in it, because I like to go a bit more in detail about the cards and a bit more descriptive. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep updated with my videos if you're not already. If you are, thank you. If you aren't, feel free to do it if you want to. And lastly, comment if there's anything I got wrong or that I misspoke of, or if there's anything you want to see on the channel. I can always try and put on. And like the video if feel free to like the video, dislike it if you liked it and enjoyed it, dislike it if you didn't like it, but at least if you do dislike it, leave I wouldn't mind a comment about why you disliked it, so I can change things for future. But thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you in the next video going over the Q update. Bye for now.